What up, what up, what up, all you beautiful bastard? It's your boy Hungar hanging out with my brother Justin from another mother.
Hey, all.
So,
Can you
what
hear
is,
me?
yeah, I hear you good.
Okay, good.
What's new with you?
Nothing much. Nothing much. You. Well, obviously, you're in the hellscape of hospital land.
Yeah, well, Mom, I got dehydrated. And my
Yeah,
mom,
you weren't drinking your Brondo like I told you to.
yeah, it's crazy because in the last few days, before I had to come here, I drank like six of the body armors, which have electrolytes and everything. I drink like four of the big Gatorades and a lot of water, but I got dehydrated, so my magnesium got low. Magnesium helps your heartbeat, all of that good shit, right?
Yep.
So they wanted to do a lot of cardiac tests on me. I had to do a stress test today.
You can't do the banana, can you? Because
I do eat bananas sometimes, but a lot of times my potassium's decent.
uh,
It's the magnesium. And I really don't even know what to frickin' eat or anything to make my magnesium better. And of course, I live in a world where I've got a computer in my pocket at all time. But I guess I'm just too lazy.
to
What?
web
What?
search it. You can get magnesium tablets.
My body doesn't digest a lot of medications.
Yeah.
What up, Gemini? What up, Crafted Gamer? A Shadow? How you doing, buddy? I don't know how long I'm gonna stream today, but there's the link in the chat.
If you want to come in, because I'm a master of dead air.
Yes, you are. What up, QC Rider? It's not a big deal, dude. I just dehydrated.
Yeah.
I hadn't been in the hospital in about 8 weeks, so I had to come check on my nurses.
Yeah. They poison them to get them back in there.
Yeah, they really do. My nurses like, we miss our baby Hungar. What's funny is the guy who was my 1,000th subscriber
Yeah.
works at this hospital,
Okay.
and he's
And
like, "How you been, man? How's your channel going?" I was like, "Channel's going pretty good.
yeah, haven't
I
seen you in the chat.
I
Oh,
haven't had any complaints with it, you know." No, I was talking to my brother, and they're saying the new thing with YouTube, after you hit like enough subscribers to monetize, and you don't, they don't put you high up on the freaking list of videos they, try to get people to watch. Because if you're not monetized, they're really not making any money off of it.
yeah. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true, but I don't get if you can monetize. I don't get why you wouldn't monetize because it's not like you're you're having to shill a product.
Yeah, I was talking to James about that the other day because he's what he was telling me, and I told him I was like, dude, you got a lot of quality videos. People like watching you. Monetize to get the algorithm up there where it's working for you, and even if you don't want to keep the money, donate it to something.
Yeah,
What's up, gentlemen?
or
Hey, Shadow.
even use it to supplement the purchase of books. How you doing, Shadow?
What up, Squirrel?
I'm doing pretty good. You guys?
Doing good. Doing good. Not bad.
He's finally home from the shelter they make him stay at when
Yeah, I'm
he's
finally
when
home
he was
from my
small.
house.
You guys are
Uh,
killing me, man.
uh,
You know, I knew. Funny thing, I was I was playing a game on my new Xbox because my buddy, I don't know if you guys saw the video last night, but he sent me and my son, he sent me his old Xbox, the like original, because I wanted to play Knights of the Old Republic. And I've been playing for a couple hours, and my game freezes up, and I'm like, shit, I guess I've been playing too long. So I reset it, turned it off, let it cool off, and check YouTube because I was gonna do a prepping video at 1:00, and I see you guys goofing off, and I'm like, I guess I'll have to postpone the prepping video to hang out with you mugs.
Yeah, we just got on here too.
We just
I
came
know,
out.
like talk about quantum, right? So, you know what, Squirrel, you will get 1,000. You'll probably pass me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Squirrel. I watch all of your videos and comment on all of your videos.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say, Squirrel, man, that Wild West thing you showed earlier, freaking awesome.
I have to check that
My
out.
son and I, we do theme months, and April's my birthday. And don't send me cards or nothing like that. It's cool. Just hang out with me, and that'll be more than enough. But I'm since my birthday month, I'm doing Wild West, and I'm like, I guess it's time to break out the MDF kits because those things were sweet, and I got a couple I've been sitting on for a couple years, and I'm like, I guess I gotta pull them out. I've got a saloon and a gallows. Sorry about that. The racetrack is hopping today, so I'll be putting those together real soon.
I was telling Squirrel how peanut butter and jealous I was.
Yeah, every time I start looking at those MDF kits, I start pricing out laser cutters, and then I gotta stop.
Yeah, I've got one with my. I believe I've got one with my Snapmaker, but I it's put together, but I've got nowhere to, do 3D printing yet. But yeah, I might have to join you there, Justin. I mean, I don't mind paying for a good kit, but if I can get a good kit and then copy that kit, make 2 for 1,
or modify it.
Yeah, or expand on it. I've also got this massive MDF kit that's all like Old West, like Knott's Berry Farm mines, like gold mines and stuff. And I got nowhere to put it, so that's probably going to stay in the box because the old Captain of Shadow is up to here with boxes right now.
Bro, like he's having a blast at that convention.
Who wouldn't? I mean, you'd have to be, pretty touched in the head to not enjoy a scene like that. I mean,
and did you guys watch Major's Musings video he put up the other day?
Absolutely.
I love those little cardboard figures that he uses.
Yeah, you know who else did a really good video recently? The Dungeon Minister did a really good one too with the goblins and the turtle tanks. That was kind of cute.
I love the Dungeon Minister. He's like one of my favorites. But those little cardboard minis that Major's using, those are from the Legend of the Stick. That's why they look so funny.
Yeah, my son was huge into all the Stickman Wars games a while back. I'm gonna have to show him those because he still plays them. Henry Stickman and all those other Stickman games. He even had he was making a Stickman game with his friends at school so they could do stuff during recess a couple years back. I'm gonna have to show him those.
Oh, hush, Deej.
Oh, hey, Deej, what's up? Who else is in the chat? I can't see.
Gemini Wolf, my daughter. QC was here.
I saw her. Hope you're having a good day.
Crafting Gamer.
Hey, Crafting.
Well, okay, I'm going to tell you guys this right now. After I run the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay game, and that's going to go on for a few months. After that, I hope you guys got your katanas ready.
Because
for what?
Legends of the Five Rings, baby.
Man,
we'll do that. Man, Shadow, you gotta get off your scared of random generators high horse there. Join us for a randomly generated character.
I'm more likely to play that one than I am Five Rings, to be honest.
What do you got against Five Rings?
Nothing against it at all. Just don't have the books, and
I don't got any of these books.
I
I'm not getting them either.
Yes,
Hungar's
you
telling
get
us.
a PDF.
Hungar's doing all the page flipping whenever I have a question.
Also, Shadow, you get more points for your Warhammer Fantasy game if you random it. And I will let you pick your race so you don't have to be a halfling or a dwarf or an elf.
I like elves. I've yet to run an elf. Elves are my favorite character race to run. And
Well,
I've been
elf
playing
is
for
like
a solid year.
Elf is like a 99 to 100. You got like 2% chance of being an elf.
Yeah, I have more chance to get psionics, right? I've yet to play an elf all freaking year. I've been just playing, not DMing, for almost a solid year now. I've been in like 10, 15 different games, and I've yet to play a freaking elf.
I've never played one, so you got me there.
Yeah, and I mean, this game is going to be a gritty game.
A what? A gridded?
Gritty.
Oh,
Like dark
gritty.
kind of stuff.
Gritty.
Like grim dark, not bubble gum and unicorn.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I like one of the reasons I like Warhammer Fantasy. It is a very dark, hard setting. And the second
Yeah, you know
reason
what
I
though?
like-
That's all there is anymore. You know, pretty soon unicorns and rainbows are going to be the new punk rock because no one's freaking playing them. I'm serious. I've read three out of the last 4 games were so dark with literally no contrast, no good, no light. I read one RPG game in a star spanning galaxy, right? In a galaxy, right? Massive planets. They literally say in the game, no one makes art anymore in the entire freaking galaxy. You mean to tell me there's no little kid with some crayons somewhere drawing stick people, on a wall somewhere in the whole freaking galaxy?
Warhammer Fantasy, there's art, there's culture, there's music, and all of that stuff. But the thing is, there are a lot more bad creatures out there than there are good creatures.
Yeah, but you got to have contrast. You know what I mean? Otherwise, there's literally. I mean, you might as well just roll up your character and slit your own wrists if there's nothing. No contrast, no goodness, no light, nobody laughs anymore unless it's at somebody else's, awful, horrific expense. That's just that gets boring after a while.
We just laugh at your horrific and awful expense.
And if you don't laugh at old people or kids falling down, there's something wrong with you.
No, I get it, but you've got to have the contrast. Otherwise, you're just trying to be, the most evil son of a bitch.
Well, there's
in
a
the
difference
galaxy.
between grimdark and being an edgelord, right? Like,
Hey, I am the original edgelord because I have aged everybody on the net except Shauner, and even that gets old.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
that's what you're
Shauner.
talking about.
Here's what pisses Shauner off right here.
What?
With a screen like this,
Oh, why?
Shauner doesn't like it. That's why me and James did our screen like that the other day.
That guy, man.
It's
He
Yeah,
makes good
life-
points sometimes, but sometimes he is just
Life's too damn short to nitpick over crap like that.
he's
And
just
it's
in a
not like
padded room.
Shauner watches my videos anyway.
He'll watch. He comes up in the chat. You're blocked.
But yeah, I need a
Life's
couple
too
more
short.
players. I need a couple more players for the Warhammer game.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to need some players for the L5R. I'm a big fan of L5R. I'm a weeb. So I'm going like samurais and shit, right?
Yeah, I like it too, but I don't need, I don't like it when people are just a little too into it and You know, I'm a white guy. I'm not Asian. I'm gonna make all kinds of mistakes, and if I want to like
So what? Play
try
Tom
to,
Cruise in Last of the
I know
Samurai. That's what I
that
plan
was
on
actually a
doing.
good movie. Yeah, I just don't like it when people get all nitpicky. Hey, real quick, Blast from the Past.
Nice.
I just got this yesterday. I've been looking for one of these for like 10 freaking years. I finally found one at a decent price. I had to scoop it up, and of course I got to paint it because this is just
Like
this is
Perfect.
weird.
like Max Law says at the beginning of his videos, escapism, not realism. You don't have to
Not
know
representation. Not representation.
you don't
Yeah,
have
close
to
enough.
know everything about a culture to play a game. Because realistically, how many people really know elves? How many people
Me,
really know
me,
dwarves?
me.
As much as you like to
Really? How many have you met?
you have no
Well,
experience.
zero because they don't exist. But neither do feudalistic Japanese individuals. You know. But I've heard a lot of snarky, if not worse than snarky, comments from people about said things, and I'm just like,
We're just
dude,
here having fun, man.
Yeah,
Like,
we're just here to have fun.
Yep.
I know the game is not about having fun, but playing it is.
Yeah.
You know what? That's I've got some words to say about that shit.
I was
Yeah, it is about having fun.
I was watching the Black Lodge gaming podcast before Hungar Digged Me, and they were making some good points on that.
on what? That it's not about fun?
Well,
it is?
there's the no, it isn't. The game itself should not be about having fun. You should be there because you're having fun, but
Yeah,
the game
the
should be
game
about
don't have
telling
to
a
be-
story and having an experience,
Yeah, yes, like Justin says.
right?
The game
Okay,
is
you guys
not
are starting
all
to
about
irritate me.
sunshine and rainbows.
Let me give you an analogy. If you sit down at a pottery wheel to have fun, and that's the only thing you're doing, you're just going to have a pile of clay at the end, not a cup or an ashtray. The purpose is to do the thing. If you're having fun doing it, that's a plus. If you're not, stop doing it.
Yeah, I want us to have fun in our game, but it's
hold on.
not just about fun. You got to get into your character. You got to get into your class,
Your
career.
story. I
The
think
story.
more than that is the story.
Be happy in the story. I mean, you're going to have times where you should be stressed. You're going to have times where it's like, what the hell is going on here? But
Yeah.
it's all part of the game.
If you're not experiencing all the emotions besides happiness in your story, you're not going to have an enduring experience. You're not going to remember the events of the character 6 months or a year later if there aren't ups and downs.
Absolutely. However, definition of fun, that which provides amusement or enjoyment. The entire
Yes.
process is fun. It's not doing my fucking taxes. Okay.
Well, of course, it's not doing your
yeah.
taxes.
Now there
But
are going
I
to be
enjoy
some
doing
elements
taxes,
that
so.
suck. Dude,
Okay, I enjoy trolling more.
Captain likes to do taxes to see how much.
yeah,
you rip off the
you
government.
really need to
Well,
clarify
yeah,
that.
that's definitely why I enjoy.
What up, DJ?
I'm retired, and literally 90% of my life is fun,
You
and
should
the other
take up-
10% is shit I gotta
should
do.
You should take up doing other people's taxes to help them rip off the government.
I don't even do my own taxes, so as in I don't pay taxes because I don't have to because I'm smarter than the average bear.
Hey there, Boo Boo. Boo Boo, you want to go get a picnic basket?
I might note you live in the only country that has criminal prosecution for tax evasion.
I'm
the
not saying
planet?
I illegally avoid my taxes. I'm just saying I don't have to pay taxes because I technically don't have an income. I have all the money I have. I don't have to keep paying
Yeah.
taxes on it every year. That's freaking robbery.
I am still in the hospital, brother,
Oh,
because
Who is Mr. Taxman?
that's Deej.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because that don't look like these. I mean, just
Yeah,
saying, you know.
looks like Q. The
Yeah,
gay
it's,
one, not the good one.
it's John Delancey.
they are
That
one.
does not
They
look
had
like
to-
John Delancey.
It is. It's from the
That's
new
how
Star
he.
Trek Picard.
Yeah, that's how he looked in the Picard series last year when they killed him.
That's why I call him the gay one.
Really?
brother, they wanted to run tests on me because my magnesium was so slow. They want to make sure that none of my other organs were being effed with.
He's lying. He's staying there because some nurse is giving him sponge baths.
Yeah, the nurse is named Steve.
Well, yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna out him, but yeah.
But
Oh,
Dude, I swear,
pages.
man, one of these days, Max Liao is going to get so freaking jealous. I'm telling you, man. You know, it's one thing to you know, cat around, but you know, you can't like advertise it. Hold on a second.
He told James the other day that he was going to break up with me.
oh. Well, he is a Capellan, right? So
Why are you muted, Shadow?
he's on the phone with
He's
somebody.
he's on the phone.
Oh, okay.
This is the first thing Hungar hears in the morning. Good morning. Would you like your sponge bath? I've brought it in for you. Would you like me to lather you all up?
I'm like, nope.
You got the voice wrong. It's good morning.
Hold on a second, guys.
Oh, there he went. Steve just showed up.
Steve with the lime jello and the oral supplement or the anal supplement.
I don't want to know where the oral supplement came from or the anal supplement. No, just been plugged in, folks.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm laughing too much now. Oh, half the panel's muted.
We've lost everybody. They're just running away from us, Justin.
Yeah. It's like they think one of us is Whitaker or something.
Oh shit! Son of a bitch!
Hey, it's Shudder. We were talking about you earlier, man. Don't rewind. We didn't say kind things. Oh.
Hello, I'm the bestest Time Lord ever.
Ever.
I've got my fam with me, even though I ignore half of them.
Yeah, I stopped watching episode 3 of season 10, I think it was, when they went back to London with Capaldi there.
I managed to get through Capaldi. I managed to do 2 seasons of Whitaker because I was doing debates against people on it, on how horrible it was. But my brain is broke.
Yeah. Now I got to the scene where they go back to London, and the girl goes, "There are black people here." It was like 1830 something. And it was like, yeah, they're always wearing. I'm like, off, out, I'm done.
Yeah, that was just not the case. That shit needs to really stop.
Yeah, it needed to stop 5 years ago when that happened.
Yeah, this is getting obnoxious, and you know, it's straight up propaganda. You know.
Well, then you would have loved the episode with Whitaker when they brought space races on Earth to stop Rosa Parks from riding on a bus.
You know,
it's funny because if you actually know the real story for that, she was doing that for like 3 months straight before anybody said anything, and it was because the bus was going out of service.
But then again, I wouldn't watch. You couldn't pay me to watch Picard. What's her name? Stephanie Abrams. I literally rather I'd rather shove knitting needles in my eyes than watch anything with her. And if you actually, paid her money to be on your show, you just made a mortal enemy of
I
me.
think that was Discovery, but yeah, same difference. I
Yeah,
watched the
you're right.
first season and I had to force myself
I'm
through
back.
it.
More cuts tomorrow.
I saw the premise for season 2 of Picard and I was like, I'm out.
The only good thing
yeah.
I can say about season 3 of Picard, it finally gave me my NX-01 refit on screen.
Yeah, and I just
That's it.
I'm tempted, but at the same time I know it's not going to be what I want. So
Well, let me break this down. You can easily watch season 3 Picard if you've already seen Star Trek 2.
The Wrath of Khan. I heard you say
Wrath
that
of
this
Khan.
morning.
And
I made the mistake of watching Star Trek Next Generation from beginning to end last year.
Yeah, all
And
the shit was in it then, right? Like all the woke shit was in it back
it was,
then.
I was literally, I was literally, bleeding from the ears and eyes and another orifice.
That's
watching
why
that crap.
you might have heard me say that this is nothing new. Several times people will bring up, oh, it's just started in the last 5 years. No, it's been going on since I was a kid.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
It's just
It
you had
hasn't
better
done-
writing and less overall cultural meme on it.
I'm so done with Star Trek that
Well, it's in everything, man. It's in
I
everything.
got a copy of Modiphius's D2D20 whatever Star Trek game, and I gave it away. It was brand new. I could have eBayed it for almost $100. I'm like, no, I don't want anybody to pay for this, and I put it up on for the 500 sub giveaway, and Bloodworth, he actually he won it. He dug it. I'm like, cool. He's my dungeon master in 3 different games right now, and I'm like, dude, it's all yours, man. Enjoy. Go ahead, do a review of it. I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
out. I have some original, like I have the very first Star Trek role-playing game ever created by Heritage Miniatures back in 1970 something, and it's worth a fortune. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping my FASA, original series Star Trek games, but I will probably never play another Star Trek game. I'll probably never watch another episode of anything Star Trek other than the original series and maybe Enterprise, because that was kind of good. But
Yeah.
Enterprise got good the 3rd and 4th season.
I didn't mind it out through. It didn't like it. Ow, bit my tongue.
Stop biting your tongue, damn it.
Yeah. It wanted to do these grandiose story things, but there was no commitment to any of it, right?
Yeah. And then they killed off the best character in the whole show at like the second to last episode. I'm like, you're kidding me, right?
Trip.
It seemed like an act of spite.
He's not dead. He's not dead.
Why do you say that?
I've read some books that were supposed to be in later seasons.
Oh, really?
He went undercover to go spy on Romulans.
Oh, that's a cop out.
Yeah, it still seemed like when I was watching it that like it was one of those contract issues or incompatibility issues where the actor couldn't get along with someone, and so they're like, okay, fine. Not only are you fired or out, but we're going to kill your character, kind of thing. That's what it seemed like. I could be wrong.
Now, it was supposed to be a setup for a season 5, but then they got word that it wasn't originally wrote in. Well, it was wrote in season 4 that you were going to find out that he was supposedly dead, But then in season 5, you're going to find out that he wasn't actually dead, that he was working with Vulcan intelligence and other things to get in and try to get information on the cloaking devices and such. And it didn't work out that way.
Didn't Kirk steal one back in the original series?
Yeah,
yeah, he actually did.
Yeah, so but that was like a decade after when Enterprise took place.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Or century. Sorry. But yeah, no, and still, even I like the sets for Enterprise. They just don't feel like Star Trek in any way whatsoever.
Well, Enterprise was supposed to show before all the Federation stuff and how
it's
ships were more like submarines.
Yeah, it was just too different for me.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan either.
Like I could live with it, but if that show had stripped every Federation and Star Trek thing out of it altogether and been its own thing onto itself, it would have been a far better show.
And I really liked how they made up the episodes to explain why Klingons looked human during Kirk's era.
Yeah, but that was something like had already been explained, though. So
not quite, no, because the most you heard was Worf say in Deep Space Nine that he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but it had been in books, I believe. I think it was in a book.
Yeah, but at the time they weren't counting any of the books as canon.
Fair enough, but still, I still think the show would have been better if it had been an original IP.
Yeah, I could see how they could have, it made it a completely not Star Trek show with what they did, but
come up with a new ship name and different alien races.
It's kind of like how Mutant Chronicles didn't seem like Mutant Chronicles because they didn't actually do any actual research into the freaking IP when they made it.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's a thing onto its own self. That was what, a decade and a half ago, 2 decades ago.
Yeah, it's over, and yeah.
The only reason why Picard season 3 is any good is apparently they're all these Star Trek stuff are being done by the Kurtzman studio, and who is it that owns that now?
Well, for the Starship part, they brought back a whole bunch of the old.
Oh no! They're buying out his studio, and they bought enough of the studio out to vote him off the board, and he's only still around until his contract is up, and then he's gone. So he's basically been soft fired.
Yeah, but Picard's got. Why the fuck did they have to bring in?
But
Kirk's body. Seriously,
I haven't watched any of it, so I don't know.
This newest episode, they go to a space station that's supposed to have all these. It's got like the Genesis 2 torpedo in it. It had Picard's body at it. At one point, you can see they got Kirk's body for some reason.
I think if they're doing that kind of stuff, they're trying to nostalgia bait the old fans back into watching, which is it's a common thing done with IP holders, but it's also the worst thing you can do.
But it's pretty morbid to bring Kirk's body into it.
Yeah.
Picard's body, they're using it as part of the plot line. But Kirk's, really? Somebody went to read in 3 and
just something I'm making up in the back of my head. Patrick Stewart, even though he's younger than William Shatner, has less vitality and is closer to death.
I went,
In
to,
real
I
life?
went to a comic shop the other day and they had Wrath of Khan playing on the TV. That made me happy.
I'm telling you, man,
That's
that
always good.
adrenochrome's a terrible drug.
The adrenal. Oh,
So I was hoping to get out of the hospital today.
they're telling you no?
They wanted to do a stress test because your magnesium being low can mess with your heart, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They did the stress test. I've got a blockage in one of my arteries. So they're doing a heart cath tomorrow. And I might have to get stents.
Hey,
Wow,
do like I do when I got mine. When she goes down there to start to shave, just tell her that's not a pumpkin, so don't be lighting that as a wick.
All right. One time I was getting a heart cath. This was a year or so ago. And they had a really hot black chick, a really hot Asian chick, a really hot Spanish chick, and a really hot white chick shaving me down there. And I told them straight up I was going to count that as a fivesome.
Might as well.
And then they gave me a chocolate covered strawberry.
If what? They didn't give me shit.
Count that as a fivesome.
If they touched it in any way, count it.
Good videos today, buddy.
Oh, disgusting degenerate.
You sound
That's
like my
why
son.
everybody likes me. Because I'm a degenerate.
Trust me, I could be more of a prude than him.
I know because you've actually done the deed.
Oh.
Shadow, I can barely hear you, bro.
I can't imagine why. I'm not whispering.
That's better.
That's better. You sound pretty out of it there, Hungar. Oh.
Well, Steve just wore him out. Come on.
Yeah.
That's why I had to turn my camera off and my mic off for a second. The doctor came in to talk to me. Then my nurse came in. Then I had to call my mom. And then, of course, I had to call my brother to let them know what's going on so they don't worry about me.
If I was on camera, I'd be making quotation marks around the word doctor.
Oh.
Wow. Now, here's what's crazy. They came in. They looked at me. They're like, "There's nothing wrong with you." And I was like, "Well, I'm having these weird pains and stuff." So I requested a second opinion. Always request the second opinion.
Did he come in and say you're ugly too?
No, he came in. They ran a stress test on me today, and they found something. The other doctor was just going to send me home.
One of those guys wants you dead.
Yeah.
Well, you keep flirting with his side piece.
Leave Steve alone, and he might do something for you.
Yeah.
And if you don't leave him alone, he'll definitely do something for you.
No, I need to
Be
call
careful
her.
there. I see the gift. It's not it's not a thing you want to play too much with.
I got EO menu from the hospital.
Ooh.
Yesterday, I was so aggravated because they didn't ask me what I wanted for dinner, and they brought me some nasty looking stuff. So I ordered Greek food and had them deliver it to me.
Yeah, you can only eat 12 different kinds of green jello.
Let's see.
Yes, Squirrel, you are right. You know you went to the wrong proctologist when he puts his pants next to yours on the table.
Yeah, I went to a proctologist once, and everything was going
Wow.
good until I felt two hands on my shoulders. I was like, "This is not normal."
Okay. We got April coming up, right? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So on the 1st, what I want you to do, Shadow, is get a documentary called The Gift. Right? Look it up, and I want you to tell and Son that it's the Jackson, right? That it's the next movie you're watching on the movie stream, and you got to sit down and watch it together.
Dude, he will know about faster than anything.
What?
I mean, That boy will nope out faster than you can freaking blink.
Yeah, but just the fact that you're gonna try it, just make him watch the intro, and try and record the nope out. That would be hilarious.
Oh, there he goes on the phone again.
Yeah. The Gift is a documentary about some men who have a club, and
Yeah.
some of them get the gift euphemistically. You can look it up on
I no, I'll pass. I'll pass already.
you can
Yeah,
look
I
it
have
up on
actually heard
Wikipedia.
someone already warned me about that. I forget who, and I'm gonna have to nope out right next to my boy because, yeah,
It's a great April 1st joke you can pull on the
What
guy.
worries me is why does Justin know about this and what happens all through the movie?
There's a segment of dialogue in it that's commonly used as a joke in some circles.
Uh-huh.
circles
Yeah.
are circle jerks.
No.
I think the second is more accurate.
No. I'll find the dialogue list later and post it somewhere for you guys to read. It's freaking hilarious. You can change the
Hunter
context of it.
better come back because I gotta.
He's ordering
I
lunch.
I have to do a show in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I have my regular Tuesday show with Graham. We're doing a prepper show in 5 minutes. So, and don't you guys come bailing out on him to hang out with me unless he nopes out himself. You know.
Well, he's getting close to an hour anyway.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But you know, I keep my commitments, and my friend's taking time off from work to do the show. So
Wait a minute, he's got a big smile on his face. I think he just got a hold of Steve.
No, I just ordered dinner.
What did you order?
Double cheeseburger with tomato, pickle, onion, mayo, 2 bags of tater chips, lemon cake with ice cream, and a banana.
That's gonna help the heart blockage, huh?
I'm surprised they're even going to let you have anything like that with a
No,
heart blockage.
I've got to be NPO at midnight, so they're letting me eat decent food today. Because I won't get breakfast tomorrow, and I won't be able to eat it, which I'm going to be asleep by midnight. They got me on some strong drugs.
I can hear it.
Guys, I got to hit the road.
Hey, party on, man.
I'll see you guys in a little while. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, we got a spot open if anybody wants to come on.
For 7 minutes or so.
You know what? I can go longer than an hour today if I want to.
He's still got at least 17 minutes before he hits the hour mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Dude,
can go
host off by 10.
hour because what the hell I got going on? Squirrel Hermit, jump your ass up in here.
I
You
learned
can-
my math from Elf Bait.
You can do 3 hours like I did this morning.
I only cut about 10 minutes of
We can get Squirrel in. We can get Mage's music in. Manowar 665, the neighbor of the beast. Yog, you can come in.
Harass him like we are. At least till Steve shows up and he boots us out.
Hey, Deej,
Yo,
would you be interested in playing in a Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game?
never played it.
Okay.
Neither have I.
Point is,
All depends upon when it is too, because I'm getting closer to that spot to where I'm going to have to start dipping out for farm work.
yeah, it'll be in the evening, probably Easter time. And what I was thinking about doing it is just opening up my StreamYard and get the people, because I only want like 5 players in the DM, so that works perfect. 6 people game, and you know we can have fun.
Hey.
Look at that goofy looking. How's the land of free speech? Oh, I mean the land of no free speech.
That's north of the border. That's Scotland. We're okay in
Well,
England.
I heard that the UK's been putting people in jail for saying mean things on Facebook.
It's
There was a girl that got arrested in your lovely country for tweeting out the lyrics to a song.
Whereabouts in my country did that happen, and what
I
were the
don't
lyrics?
remember. I heard
When
this,
I've
like,
heard that
10
sort of thing, it tends to be Scotland more than anything. Certainly, the those in charge of Scotland have imposed a little bit more than those in charge of England.
Hello, Raven. Yeah, but I'm going around and Warhammer Fantasy role playing game. And I'm going to do it on StreamYard, but I doubt I'm going to put it on Facebook unless everybody agrees that it's cool with it.
Well, that's what I'm doing at the moment. Don't take a snapshot, Squirrel.
That's
nice.
Not
Squirrel. I think it's Mage is going to be playing in this. So
you really got to start taking those maps and stuff and putting them out there for sale.
Why? There's far better people.
The river did.
There's far better people at drawing maps than me. I mean, I cheat a lot with mine. But...
Well, you can put them out for free on PDFs.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, sometimes there's going to be times when I'm wanting to run a game and I'm wanting to run a dungeon, but I suck at drawing dungeons. And two, I just get one of your dungeons and tweak it out the way I want to.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're welcome to. I mean, I'd need to. Obviously, this is one on paper. I need to scan this one in and stuff. But I hand draw most of my dungeons, and I use Incarnate for most of my towns and cities and terrain and whatever.
Yeah. Now, we were talking the other day, me and James. We were talking about monsters. It was on stream. Some of y'all saw it. We're talking about monsters and stuff in a D&D game. It's like you should never come up against more than like one beholder.
I can't remember the last time I threw a beholder at a party.
It's got to be a high level party, and they hate each other so much. Why would they be more than one of them hanging out? If there's beholders in a room, they'd be trying to kill each other.
You do get these newfangled beholders. I don't know, these little baby ones that I suppose could be subservient to a big one.
And another thing, higher level dungeons require illiths. They require nightmare fuel. They require mind flayers.
Mind flayers are, they are nightmare fuel. They are D&D crossed with Cthulhu, aren't they?
And if you put a mimic in every dungeon or every other dungeon you're putting out there, you're just running the fun of a mimic.
Yeah.
But what I was telling them I would like to do in a D&D game one time.
You should only put a mimic in a dungeon when your players are comfortable enough to stop checking.
If there's a mimic.
Chest.
Yeah. But what I want to do is the main bad guy in the dungeon and the adventure, not just the dungeon, the adventurer is going to be a doppelganger. And what he likes to do is he's not going to attack the party. He's just going to make their life a living hell, because what he's going to like to do is like become like the cleric or the paladin. And he's
impersonate people and stir things up a bit.
Impersonate like the pally and kill somebody in public.
Yeah.
And
I may or may not have done that before.
And he's going to follow. He's going to follow that party around to whatever town they're going to, and every once in a while he's going to stir up some shit to get where they have to deal with.
I just had a great idea for a character. You got like a party of 4 or 5 people, and as far as the party's concerned, there's only 4 or 5 of them, but there's actually 6 people in the party because one of them is just periodically pretending to be another person.
They're getting rid of elf bars over here. Geek.
Yeah, they're stopping making elf bars
because of copyright infringement. The company who make elf bars are making these, the Raz. And what's cool about these is they got the adjusting airflow on the bottom, so you can have a lower airflow or a higher airflow.
Yeah, that's got adjustable airflow on it. The one I'm using at the moment.
Aren't these really? Isn't that really nice?
Yeah.
I've got this one via Mimic during a pickup game at Gary last week.
The thing looks like a freaking car part or something.
But no, mimics need to be used sparingly, very, very sparingly, because they get boring if you use them all the time.
Every other damn dungeon you run it across the mimic, like, oh no, it's a mimic.
Yeah.
But you run across the mimic like twice in a year, and like, oh shit, it's a mimic.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
Like Squirrel just said,
it doesn't become repetitive until the players know it's there.
Squirrel's
And
like,
it's been with them for a while.
we died by a mimic during a pickup game at Gary Con last week, ran by Bill the Dungeon Delver. See, that's cool.
I mean, there's quite a lot of creatures in old D&D that are great when used sparingly. There's the mimic, there's the nilbog, great when used sparingly. Ear seekers,
Yeah,
rock grubs, those sort of things. They're creatures that to be used once a year, maybe.
ooh, look at mages. Nice.
I have a feeling we might have Ace Eric with us instead of Mage's Musings, if he's doing that.
Crafty. I love mimics and certain other D&D monsters, even though I don't play it. And I went through a mimic into a Palladium dungeon. Yes. Like I want to make it where the doppelganger is just an asshole who follows the party around. Another fun thing, I heard this online. There's a lower level party going to towns and bragging about defeating monsters and dungeons that your party has defeated. and they're, mimicking, they're not mimics, but they're freaking, stolen identity, stolen valor.
Yeah.
Type of
We're
thing.
the heroes. Buy us beer, buy us food. Come here, women. That sort of thing.
Oh.
So it's like you go
This
to
is
a
the kind of
town
thing
and
I'd
you say, I'm so and so. It's like, you're not so and so. They were here last week. They took out this bad guy, and you're like,
But I got his head right here.
That was us.
so yeah, that was us. So you got to find the little bastards and smack them around a little bit because they're going to all these places and like trying to get free drinks and stuff using your name. And if they turn out to be like real assholes or starting bar brawls and stuff, but they're using your identities and stuff, you're going to be hated in all the freaking towns you go to.
And this is why I say it's always important to take a flesh trophy from everything you kill.
And this is why I always say it's fun. It's fun to mess with your party with other NPCs and stuff without even. It's fun to mess with your party without your party ever really coming in contact with the thing. That's what I like about the doppelganger. The doppelgangers go around mimicking other people in your party, causing horrendous crimes, murdering people in the street, getting away, and then you come into the town or wake up the next morning and leave the inn, and the authorities are there just waiting on you.
Yes, you've been seen at the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Let's see. The best part was there was a room with a patch of green slime. Probably found and left alone. The doppelganger used the slime to dissolve the body. Nice.
When my party were playing through A1 Slave Pits of the Undercity, they rescued a girl from the. They believed she was a slave girl, and she was actually a doppelganger.
Nice.
And one of the party members got knocked unconscious, and they asked the slave girl to tend to the unconscious party member while they continued into the dungeon. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. That was their own doing as well. Complete their own doing.
I also heard about a really evil trap.
Yeah, it would be so easy to get away with murder in the Forgotten Realms.
But yeah, the problem is there's so many high-level magic users who can cast divination spells and ESP and things like that.
But they'd
It's
have
full
to
of
know to
spells.
do so in the first
Yeah,
place.
but
They
that's
do,
the
yeah.
problem. That's the problem with Forgotten Realms. You have a whole Elminster running around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Check this out as a trap. I heard this on somebody's channel.
that's why you got to kill him first.
You know how every once in a while you run into a mirror that's the size of a door, and everybody's trying to figure out the mirror and what it leads to, and stuff like that. So you put that mirror against the wall, and it's just a regular ass mirror. And while all the party members are looking in the mirror trying to figure shit out, a gelatinous cube is coming up behind them, and it's not showing up in the mirror because it's clear. So by the
Oh, a
time
vampire's coming up behind them.
the cube is there.
Yeah.
It's a bad
I like these ideas. Just Mage's musings. Can you put your fingers in your ears so you don't hear them? So in case I incorporate them in my dungeon for this weekend.
But no, I heard this on a short from another DM, and he's like, talk about this with the other DMs. And if you like the idea, use it.
Freak, man. Oh,
Yeah, I will plagiarize anybody when it comes to a game.
you got like 6 or 7 rooms with that door-sized mirror in it. Like most of them are just places for you to comb your hair.
Pretty much. You know? Because every time you run into a mirror in a dungeon as a player, and I've run into mirrors as a player,
And there's a little sign beside all of them that says doorway to place.
it's like you don't know. 9 times out of 10, the mirror leads to some kind of different area, or like typical elemental evil, right, y'all?
I know bits of it.
Yeah, where you run up on that mirror and it says, "Put your weapons in here, and I'll make it stronger for you." And there's a werewolf in there, and he's just trying to get the weapons put through the mirror so he can jump people's ass and have an easier time beating them. Which that's just pure, unadulterated awesomeness.
Oh,
In my opinion. So it's like, yeah, why not just have a regular ass mirror?
oh.
To mess with people. So yeah, it's just
You could even do that same thing. So they go and push their hand into a mirror, and then it shatters around their fist.
nice.
Piece of glass cuts in half.
Normal things that you can do to mess with your party. Plus, there's a lot of monsters that people don't use a whole lot. I mean, we got 3 freaking monster manuals.
Yeah.
Monster Manual 1, 2, and Fiend Folio. Also,
how many players know the Fiend Folio back to front? Very few.
Well, there maybe a year ago, a little less than that, I suggested in James's chat, you should take 3x5 cards and just write down all the freaking monsters in the manual and put them in a 3x5 card holder. So when you're stuck for a random encounter, you, the DM, don't know what monster you're pulling out. And maybe have something on the side of the thing dumbing the monster down for a low-level party and raising it up for a high-level party. You know?
Yeah. I said that all
like it's already wounded or something like that.
I really like to up orcs and hobgoblins. Like you run across the group of hobgoblins, and they're monsters, but the leader of the hobgoblins is like a level 6 fighter.
Or you have a shaman with them who can.
A shaman with a group of goblins.
Yeah.
Give them a couple of spells or something.
A higher, like a level 5 thief with a group of goblins. That level 5 thief, he's gonna be backstabbing and stuff.
What was that?
A good backstab can kill a player.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I really like about Mercs. And a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's great. You could be like the strongest character on the planet, but an orc with a good roll and an arrow, can take you out.
Can sever
I
your
love-
spine in a single shot.
Yeah, I love the critical. I love the critical roles of mercs. Like if you read Fellowship of the Ring, you know, one of the dwarfs of the 13, Balin, got killed by orc or goblin in Moria by one shot with an arrow. And you know, that dude went up against a dragon. So you know he's a badass. But an orc with with an arrow killed him.
Yeah.
You know, shield walls, pikes, hedges, etc. Very nasty.
Yeah, hobgoblins are organized. That's the
Yeah,
that is their strength.
They are very organized.
Well, I was watching this thing with Matt Colville, and he said, you know, a good thing you could have them do is every so many turns, the band leader can blow a horn to summon more of them.
Yeah, plus
you know,
hobgoblins.
Reinforcements.
If you have a higher level fighter as the leader of the hobgoblins, they're going to be like hoplites. They're going to be a very militant race. There's going to be hobgoblin cavalry. So you have a really high. You have a higher, not high level,
and
but good level.
You're probably only running into a patrol of them in the first place. If you
have like a 5th level fighter, and like 10 hobgoblins. So a small party of hobgoblins. They run up on 6 freaking 7, 8 level freaking player characters, but you got like all these hobgoblins that are pretty tough to begin with. With a 5th level fighter, they're not going to run because their morale is going to be going off of the fighter, off of the leader. It can get a little hairy, and your player characters are like, "Oh, it's just a small group of hobgoblins. We can take them out." Or you see a bunch of goblins.
But
goblins, we're going to take them out, and then shamans casting darkness spells and freaking hold person and stuff. You're screwed.
It's the main difference between orcs and hobgoblins. Orcs are much more of a rabble. They will run at you. They will I treat them as more bloodthirsty. They will just charge at you, fling things at you, hack at you. Whereas, as Mage says, hobgoblins, they're likely to form a shield wall, or you might hear a sudden shout of a hobgoblin shout, "Duck!" And there's a line of 6 of them behind with ready loaded crossbows, volley a load of crossbows.
That's why hobgoblins make good mercenaries, and that's why humans will hire hobgoblin mercenaries, because they will stick to the contract because they are lawful creatures. Just because they're lawful evil doesn't mean they're not. So they're going to follow the contract. Now, when the contract is over, are they going to turn around and try to smack you around? Possible.
Make sure you've worded that contract well.
Yeah. That they won't.
Well, yes.
You have a non-compete clause in the contract.
Hobgoblins are great mobs.
And you cannot compete or attack us for 1 year after the end of this contract.
Bugbears being led by a freaking barbarian.
Oh.
That's scary.
Tend to have bugbears leading goblins, don't you?
Yeah.
That fits.
A mid-level party, like a level 4 or 5 party, running up against an ogre. There's a chance that ogre's going to one-shot one of those characters. And James is usually the DM who runs games that I play in, and he makes it a little hairy. It can get a little hairy with his games. You running up on a big bad monster, there's a chance one of the party members are going to die. Because that's the way it is.
They've got to be careful, haven't they?
Hold on a second, guys. I got to mute.
So, old geek. What? I actually don't know your name. Do you use it?
My name? I'm John.
John. Okay. John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without the H.
Any ideas? What's going on this Friday? Are we continuing with the?
No, there's no stream.
Oh
this
yeah,
Friday.
you got that horse thing. Charity.
We're raising money for the youth section of my daughter's football club this weekend. By fleecing everyone. Basically, most of the parents of all the kids, we're all going to have a few drinks, and then we're going to have our money priced out of our fingers. That's the way it'll work. So, now, looking forward to this weekend because a chance to watch my kids play football as well because not working. My daughter's football team won 15-0 last weekend.
15-0 is good.
That's football with a circular ball, as in soccer.
Yes, I know.
So 15-0 is quite. But she didn't play for them. She was pulled up to the. She normally that's the youth team, the development team that she plays in. But she was promoted to the seniors last weekend.
Yeah, that's right, man. Just tough dwarf will take out an ogre, but if an ogre gets a shot on the thief or the mage, it's easy to one-shot that bad boy.
Oh yeah. I mean, a third or fourth level mage can get easily taken down by one hit from an ogre. I mean, what's a third or fourth level mage is going to have what 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 hit points if they're lucky. An ogre can do that.
If they're lucky, and that ogre's got to do that much damage almost, and bonus damage.
And the mage won't have a very good AC, so the mage better not get caught in combat by that ogre.
Yeah, or the thief.
Yeah, at least the thief's likely to. At least the thief's likely to have a slightly better AC.
We're talking about 5th level mage. Ogre is the bane of a 5th level party because they're strong enough to take that ogre out if they're smart. But that ogre is tough enough to one-shot half of the party.
No problem, crafting gamer. Always happy to help.
A freaking ogre.
Mage is right though. A well-armored dwarf will help you against ogres.
Yeah,
that's when
a well-armored dwarf will help you against most things.
You just set the dwarf. You set the dwarf's beard on fire and blame it on the ogre, and the dwarf will go nuts.
I played an ogre, or I played dwarf. So
I'm pretty sure if a dwarf's beard gets less than an inch long, he just dies.
I've played a lot of dwarf fighters, and what I used to do back in the day, because you always run into ogre when you're about 4th or 5th level, because that's a good monster. For every time we kill an ogre, I'd cut a scrote off and turn it into my coin purse, because nobody wants to steal a hairy ass ogre scrote coin purse from a dwarf.
You could leave a bit of the spinal column and have it as some form of macabre hand puppet.
Nice. And ogre scrote.
You just became my favorite Brit.
I'm ready to have blood drawn from me.
You've not played in one of my Call of Cthulhu games, Justin. They can get a bit dark. They can get a little bit twisted.
That's what you got, mages. If the party's smart, like the thief's going to want to go up and try to backstab something, right? So the thief's running up there. The ogre recognizes or sees him, smacks him with his big ass club, and then what's that thief going to do? He's going to be wrecked.
Well, he's going to try and pick the lock on the side of the club.
Yeah, dwarves. Well, because ogres are considered giant class creatures anyway, dwarves get a bonus against fighting them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
they get a bonus 4 to their HP as well. So
and they get a bonus to get missed by ogres because they're giant class creatures. I'm sorry, I'm nerd talking you to death. My nurse just over here giggling at us because we're nerd talking her to death.
Oh,
I always get lucky though. I always get the cute Filipinos for nurses.
yeah. Rule 1 is dominate ranged attack.
Yeah. My daughter in the game that she's played with her stepdad, because I met my ex in a D&D game. Of course, you know her new husband's gonna be a DM. She's played a ranger, elf ranger, first character. You know she's gonna go with the fancy elf with a bow and arrow, right? And then she was telling me she wanted to dual class to elf ranger or ranger thief. And I'm like, why would you want to dual class ranger thief? You're doing really, really good as your elf character, as your ranger. This is the first game you've ever played in. Stick to the ranger and see how awesome the ranger can get. And then she realized that she could get a woodland pet. So then she got really excited because she's got like a hawk flying around with her and helping her with her archery and stuff. It's like,
Cool.
I'm not a big fan of dual class.
I personally don't care one way or the other.
Now, Geek, what are we playing Friday?
Nothing.
We're not. No, not this Friday. Sorry.
Yeah,
There's a chance I might be stuck in the hospital and we're not going to go through a book.
no.
No, it's fundraising night at my daughter's football club this Friday, so there's gonna be no straight.
Oh, when it comes to the daughters, she comes first.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. So I'll be giving my money
In
horses.
Did you get it?
in memory of you not being here on Friday, I'll go watch Bend It Like Beckham.
It's a good film, actually. That is. It's a good film.
Yes, it is.
It's a lot less painful to people than you know and then click it.
Oh,
And when you pull it, when you click it that
yeah.
and it comes out that fast, it stings a little bit.
No crafting game. I mean football. Football played with the feet, and I like
What do
American
we
football.
want? Soccer? When do we want it? Soccer. What do we want? Soccer. When do we want it? Soccer. I saw a YouTube short about that today where the Americans are just screaming out soccer every few seconds.
I mean,
Oh,
there are people in Britain who call it soccer from time to time, but most people call it football.
This is for Justin. My picture.
oh.
The guy in the bottom left, he's in the UK, and he owns one of my shirts.
Not that one. He has that on his shirt.
Well, I wear my Hunger of the Starvarian shirt, my red one, to the hospital. So
Cool.
everybody see that. Plus, I got the sticker on my computer and my van.
Well, I think I actually have to go now.
Alrighty, buddy.
Party on, guys.
Party on,
Hey,
Justin.
Justin.
See you, Justin.
May just says somebody need to send Hungar a fighting fantasy book so he can do the game night. I can run by the Coliseum of Comics and pick up a Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, I mean, I get them pretty cheaply from eBay. You can get them for £3 or £4 over here. They're probably more common over here than over there, but they're not expensive.
Yeah, but I'm not going to steal your gig, bro.
Have one to play yourself.
Accident. Yeah, I hit that on accident.
Uh-oh, Steve's there.
I'm doing a live stream. No, that's Carlos. He's the man.
He's the man. Okay.
You know, I like exotic people. I was talking to my girlfriend. You know, I am dating a Filipino chick. I kind of think that the age gap is a little rough because almost 30 years older than she is. But she approached me, and her parents think that I'm awesome and everything, so it's cool. But
That's
I told her I had a
always a good
Filipino
start.
nurse. I told her I had a Filipino nurse, and my nurse wanted to know where she was from. And she's like, "Why is she asking you questions? She need to mind her own damn business." Because there's no woman more jealous than a Filipino woman. Anyway, Echo.
You're right, Echo.
Yeah, Filipino chicks are jealous because we're high commodity in the Philippines. We are. Mage, what up, Sean? He's like, I ain't talking. I'm just coming out here to look at you guys.
Hello.
Oh, the microphone is working. Hello, Mage.
Fancy meeting you here, this side of the pond.
Well,
Everybody
around,
wants
don't
to be. Everybody wants to be on my show. It is what it is.
Well, it's a nice check to get whenever I come up here.
Yeah, you just like to check in to see if I'm in the hospital again, DJ.
Oh yeah, of course, because you were bragging over on my stream the other day. It's been so many weeks, and boom, there you are.
Oh, man, you jinxed it.
I
told
almost
you.
stayed 2 months.
I told you as soon as you were bragging, you were going to screw it up.
Well, it's lucky that I did have an issue because they found I have a clogged artery. So,
is that the longest you've been out of hospital for a while? Then at 2 months.
Nah, I ain't going. Yeah, I was out for a couple of months. I'm not going to stay in the hospital that long. If I need a stent, I'm only going to stay overnight after the stent, or maybe 2 nights. The shit biscuit of it is my car's over at the small hospital. They moved me to the middle hospital, and they said if I need a stent, I have to go to the big hospital. But I make them get me a taxi back to my car.
So, Hunger, what hasn't gone wrong with you in recent months?
My liver's good.
Well, that's a start. That's a start.
And I just signed up for a medical trial for a new medication for liver, and there's a good chance I get the placebo, but it pays like $1,500 US for having a couple of doctor's office visits. I do that. Free money. Yeah. I'd be like Little John. I'd be like, okay.
He's got to pay for that Viagra somehow.
I don't need no damn Viagra. I need Cialis. But yeah, thanks for coming on today, guys. I was just bored and lonely in the hospital.
I was doing some writing and I saw you were on. I'm like, all right, that's a procrastination excuse. So,
Procrastinators of the world, unite tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I just started doing something useful, getting my game ready for Saturday. So yeah.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned it. I put it in my calendar. I had it on my Discord and stuff, but I didn't have it on my phone.
Hey, Sean, would you be interested in playing in a Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game?
Online? No. When are you running it?
I haven't decided yet. I've only got one positive, and that's Justin.
Right. I'll tell you what. Count me as a possible, but the things are heating up. Like I got a lot to do, and I have to find work. And once I find work, all of my spare time is going to be totally eaten up.
Yeah, I want at least 4 to 5 players.
Of course.
Because I like to run. 4 to 5 is optimal for me.
But I don't want to commit to something I can't 100% go.
And I want everybody to roll their characters randomly.
Well, that's no problem.
Get their extra points. I'm talking race, career.
Oh, when I played in Gingerbeard's Warhammer Fantasy game, that's what we did.
That's what you do. Yeah. It's funner that way. Now, one thing that James will always let me do is he will always let me start off as a dwarf race. Like, even if he's running a campaign where demi-humans are like extremely rare, I either play a dwarf, mostly fighter, sometimes cleric, or a human thief. Those are my classes. That's what I play. So James will let me start off as a dwarf, but then I still have to randomly roll my career.
Yeah, dwarves are fairly versatile.
Warhammer Fantasy Roleplaying, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it can be a little cappy, and there's good parts about it, but mostly, you got a really good chance of dying.
Yeah, it's brutal. It is brutal.
Yeah, and that's what I like in a game. I want my players to worry about what's going on. I want them to get invested in the character. I want them to like their character, and I want them to know that there is a chance they will be re-rolling a character.
How long involves the character generation process?
It's not that long, and what I tell players to do when they're rolling up the character, roll up a couple of extras.
Roll up your extras, yeah.
Yeah,
you're talking 15, 20 minutes, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, play the one that you want to play as your first character, and then have the other characters in the background in case you get if you get like a sidekick henchman, you can use one of the extra characters that were rolled up as a henchman, or if your character dies, you got one ready to go.
That's what I have everybody do in my OSC game. Just like here's your 3-4 characters, and somebody dies, we will slip the new one in.
Yep.
Yes. With those sort of contrived entrances.
Yep.
So a doppelganger.
Oh yeah.
And some Greek slime.
Well, I'm running. This is my AD&D 1E group, not one that's being recapped. So there's sort of a private game, and they're doing the Haunted Halls of Evening Star. It's a second ed module.
Yeah.
And there's a doppelganger in the dungeon, and there's this room where the whole ceiling is covered with green slime. But they spotted the green slime, so they just stayed away. But they brought in their mules, because what had happened was randomly in the area, I rolled a tribe of fire giants. So they're like, well, let's keep our pack animals inside so they don't get eaten. And so they left the NPC henchman, who's 3rd level, I think, behind to guard the pack animals. So they came across this doppelganger, didn't notice it, and so the doppelganger, basically their group is too big and too powerful for a doppelganger to attack. So doppelganger watches them and it's like, all right, well, he would figure out that there's that one guy who's isolated. So while they're discussing a course of action, I'm sitting here with the dice and so let's just do this honestly. Let's roll the dice and roll the attacks and see what happens. And sure enough, the doppelganger wins. D12 per hit, and the guy's got 12 hit points. 2 hits, he goes right down, and it's okay. Well, what would he do? And it's like, well, there's a nice big patch of green slime, so of course you bury the evidence, toss the body into that area. The green slime would fall right on it and just dissolve the whole thing. And now he's disguised as the henchman.
So fun stuff will start ensuing.
Yeah, fun stuff will ensue. What's great is the monk character is almost at 4th level, so he gets that ability to mask ESP, so he'll be a problem for the doppelganger.
Yeah.
That's fairly similar to an approach I used last time I ran Ravenloft.
Don't even get me started on Ravenloft. That's one of my favorite characters.
This was I was probably possibly a little bit cruel, but I had a group of friends over to run Ravenloft for Halloween 6 years ago, and one of the party members got isolated from the rest of the party early on, because Strahd knows what's happening in his house. That's a time when Strahd would appear to that party member. I had him roll his save against Charm Person from Strahd, and he failed. So we called a little bit of a break at that moment, and I took the player into another room and said to him, okay, what I want you to do from now on is you are now playing Strahd, who will have polymorphed himself to look like you. Your body will be placed in a in the crypt. You'll still be alive, but you choose when you approach the party, and you've got to be you, but you're actually Strahd. And just play it as you see it. And he sat there quietly and patiently for an hour or two, and then he decided that that would be the time his character returned, and dutifully followed the party around and helped them until they went down into the crypt. And they opened up the coffin that contained their party member who was asleep and covered in an illusion to look like Strahd. So they get the stake they've got prepared, drive it through their party member's heart. I had him. The illusion then broke. He sat up, looked to them in the eye, and went, "Why?" And that's when the player playing Strahd launched his attack.
That is so beautiful. That is so awesome. Man,
You got to get players to buy in on that. Like, how many players would you have that would totally whine about that?
It was a one-shot.
My character's going to die. Oh, a one shot. It's easier to get the buy-in there.
It was a one shot. So
I played in a Ravenloft game where my character was a halfling thief, but truly my character was a were-rat thief, and nobody in the party knew it. And they did not have a cleric that could detect evil. So I went around and, I helped a lot of times, but sometimes, the trap would be disengaged, but not. Just so, because my main goal was to kill the whole party. And, it worked out very well for me. It was a lot of fun.
You were devious.
It was a very short campaign. We only played like 4 or 5 sessions.
Well, yeah, that's what tends to happen when you're trying to kill the rest of the party.
Yeah, I talked to the DM beforehand. I told him, I was like, we're at Ravenloft, and nothing is what it seems at Ravenloft. I want to play a were-rat, but I want him to be a halfling. So when he's not in his rat form, and the game, in game time, it only lasted a couple of days. So I didn't have to worry about changing into the were-rat. But, I had access to poison and all of that good stuff because, one, I'm a were-rat, and 2, I played a thief. I was a were-rat thief that was a halfling thief, and just completely and totally neutral evil. Being evil because it's fun. It's like
last time I ran Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, a guest player played the part of Ned, the assassin that you find in the house.
Old Shake Shaft.
Yes, and he played him very well.
I was the kind of evil imagine a person making macaroni and cheese and using Tang instead of the cheese sauce. That was the kind of evil I was. And it was just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've never run a properly evil campaign where all the characters are evil, but I would like to give it a try sometime and try and corral an evil party into working together somehow.
I plan on running an evil campaign where all the players are drow, and it's going to be like a one-shot, and the goal is to only have one party member left alive.
I'm curious to see. Sorry, go on, John.
I mean, with Drow, you've got the political infighting. If you use the Vault of the Drow as the basis for the adventure, they could be from rival houses, so you get the political infighting between them, which you could stir up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And hell, even family members. You got 2 brothers. One of them's the top brother. One of them's the low brother, and that low brother wants to be the top brother.
Yeah, but of course they have to answer to their sister.
Insult.
Yeah, Sean, you're running an evil game, aren't you?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm curious to see because it's slowly imploding. I'm just trying to think. The last one I posted was session 8. We've now completed 12, so I'm 4 behind on the recaps. But they had a mass betrayal where half the group tried to make off with the loot and left one of the characters locked in a crypt and try and hoodwink the other one, which was very funny. And that ended up with all the betrayers, all but one dying. So they turned on each other.
A bit of karma.
And that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, every once in a while you want to play a game where the players are out to get each other, but they don't know that they're out to get each other.
It was just a choice of opportunity for the character in question, Bob the assassin. He's chaotic evil. And he's like, no, this will profit us more if we do this. Let's go. And recently, the leader of Team Evil, whose leadership is not quite the best, and the other characters are starting to realize it, led them on an ill-fated attack against a ranger. And it was quite the game. Because the minor spoiler for episodes that are coming up, but what happened was the team was they had the 5th level cleric of Mask. They had 4/4 fighter mage, elven fighter mage, a level 4 mage, straight up elven mage, level 1 fighter thief halfling, a level 1 fighter mage thief elf. But the cleric had made a bunch of zombies, so they had a whole bunch of zombies with them. They had recruited some goblins, plus they had 3 human henchmen, one of them being 2nd level. And they're like, well, we got a small army. There's no way one ranger can beat us. Little do they know. The ranger had the werebear that they had rescued several sessions prior on his team. Yeah. And when the werebear emerged and they remembered who it was, because they had helped him rescue the werebear, which is even funnier. You see their faces at the table. Oh crap, we're dead.
Oh no.
So in the end, what happened was they almost got their werebear. They used all of their excess people to overbear it, pardon the pun, and pull it down and keep it pinned while they tried to stab it with magic weapons. And the elven mage, she used a rave enfeeblement on the bear, which was a smart tactic. Keep it weak.
Yeah.
And they kept it pinned, but that ate up all of their forces, pretty much everybody. And then when the ranger finally emerged, gained surprise with missile fire. So I don't know how much you know about first ed, but you triple your rate of fire for the surprise round.
Yeah.
If you've gained with missile and you're ready. So like shot number 1 took out the elven fighter mage thief, level 1. Shot number 2 took out the halfling, just bam, bam. Shot number 3 took out one of the zombies. It was just like dominoes, bam, bam, bam. And that was before it even entered melee. And it was just like the players like, how is this going south so fast? And every time the ranger hit, it either killed somebody outright or took them down within just a few points of death. And finally they the elven, the 4th level of mage, it's like, we can't win this, cast darkness in the ranger's face. Because the other thing was Rick, who plays the priest, he had hold person ready to go, figuring, this will be easy. Cast hold person. I rolled a saving throw. It was a token save, but I rolled it anyway. They got a 2, and they're like, yes, we won. And then the ranger keeps fighting. They're like, what? And when the session was done, I showed them in the book, the write up in the book, because this is from Night Below. He's got a ring of free action.
The one magic item that can counter them.
Yeah. And the main is that we were defending a village, and it was goblins and a couple of drow, like a drow priestess and a drow wizard. All right, and drow priestess, the gnome mage, she was fighting with the drow mage, and the drow priestess was coming up to do her big bad stuff, and I just cast a silence spell on her because I was a cleric. So she was getting ready to cast a big spell. We heard her praying to her goddess and stuff. So I was like, silence. Mm-hmm. And I rolled like max to cast the spell. So she was silenced for like 15 minutes of combat time. And like, what is she going to do? By that time, the gnome had beat the mage with a wand of fireball. And she started just magic missiling because the cleric was up on the wall. Just magic missile, magic missile, magic missile. And it was like the DM was a little pissy because the cleric was the big bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm playing a 6th level cleric. I'm going to cast silence on you, hold person on you. You're not going to do anything.
Unless they vocalize,
yeah, you're in the middle of a spell, and the next thing you know, you can't speak anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I ran a group recently through the module When a Star Falls, UK4, and it opens with a foray into a Darrow lair, and Darrow are quite nasty, especially for level 3 and 4 characters. And they went into a room where there was a pack of them, 5 or 6 of them, and the cleric was quite a way back in the corridor, and flung a silence 15-foot radius spell in just to try and stop the Darrow coordinating with each other. And this was pure good fortune, because behind the 6 Darrow warriors were 2 Darrow mages with a decent array of spells. And it was just pure good fortune. They didn't know they were there, but they completely took them out of combat and turned what was going to be a horrifically dangerous encounter into something that was just about doable.
Holy Diver, I'm all right. I just found out I have a blockage of one of my arteries. I gotta get fixed. Not a big deal.
Hello, Mage.
Hello, Justin.
I never let any of this shit bother me.
If you did, you'd be bothered all the time, wouldn't you? Because it seems, yeah. You're in your second home.
And I was like, you got a blockage, but we're going to look at that. But I'd really like to talk to you about your kidneys. And I was like, I know all about my kidneys. I know they're not doing good. Let's just worry about one damn thing at a time.
Yeah.
So I got back a little bit and was watching the stuff that happened while I was away on 2 times speed.
We were just talking D&D games.
Yeah. And I wanted to mention that scenario you proposed where the vampire, I believe it was.
Oh, Ravenloft.
Yeah, was taking the place of a party member.
Yep.
I would have said, can I kill my old character and permanently be this guy?
Well, Strahd's the main bad guy in that whole world.
Yes, but it's quite a twist come the end of the scenario, especially if you're only doing a one-shot. If he's just not there at the end. They open up the crypt and it's empty.
No, what was awesome was they opened up the crypt and they stabbed their own party member, which that's just a thing of beauty right there.
The thing about that adventure is there's not most of the time Strahd's not in his crypt. He moves around.
But,
and that's one of the mechanics of the adventure, in that he can be found in a variety of places. But it also says it encourages the DM to use Strahd to his full potential, and that he's aware of what's going on in the house. So he'll take the opportunity to attack at the best possible moment.
Yeah, when I was fighting my rat thief, we were in Strahd's house. I tried to steal a cup, and Strahd just appeared behind me. I was like, "What are you doing?" Put my shit back, because I know what I got in my house and I'm aware of everything. And if you don't straighten up, I'm going to let your party know what you really are. I was like, okay, boss.
But what I'm saying is, even if I had to stay to the concealment of what my character originally was supposed to be, you could have that be like they're still looking for the guy if you ever wanted to have a second delve into that world, right?
Yeah.
And still having to play as your original character in all but actuality, right? Like the appearance
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, it was a one shot, and it ended in a complete party wipe, and it was always going to.
Okay.
You know what scares me about Ravenloft? The monster that gets me all the time in Ravenloft that just gives me the heebies and the jeebies is one my brother always throws in these, where if a baby is born and the mother takes it out into the woods to abandon it to die, they turn into like these little vampiric creatures that cry in the middle of the woods, trying to get you to come out there so they can eat your face. And two, it's the heads with the bat wings that just fly around.
The Penangalan.
Yeah, yeah. I'd rather fight Sturgis than those things, and I hate Sturgis.
I just like. I always like the concept of something hidden amongst the crowd, right?
You get Sturgis, you're going through a swamp. There's a bunch of Sturgis, and there's a bunch of mollywogs or lizard men who are cold-blooded creatures. Sturgis don't show up with effervision. So you got these two monsters that are really good at hiding against normal people, and your dwarf and your elf, if you have them in the party, they don't know jack and or shit. So it's going to always be a party surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just like, well, that was fun. This thing's doing constitution damage to me every turn.
Oh yeah.
And
I've been thinking about doing a special one-off review cap where I do like the classic modules, not as part of my campaign. Like assemble a team to do the Tomb of Horrors. They'll use the pre-gens and then recap what happens.
Well,
it
I
might be
like
fun.
Tomb of Horrors.
That sounds like fun.
It's very horrific.
The Tomb of Horrors.
Imagine it would be.
The problem with Tomb of Horrors, though, is so many people certainly in our little sort of cluster know it.
I know enough people who've never heard of it, or they've heard of it but never played it. So I could
I'd be one of those.
I could assemble people who don't know it, so that we
It's
could probably
been so long since I ran through Tomb of Horrors. It would be a new adventure for me.
It lives up to its name, Justin. It lives up to its name. It is both. It's devilish. It's frustrating. It's rewarding when you come up with a solution. But there's so many solutions you've got to find, and you've got to be so clever and so have your wits about you so consistently, because
like
death
me and
everywhere.
James were talking about.
I think you'll need to have a smarter player than I on the team then.
What me and James were talking about when we're talking about modules is you get a low-level module that's been a long time since anybody's played, that they pretty much forgot it, and you got like a fifth or sixth level party, and you take this this level 1 module and you crank it up to about a 7 with the monsters and stuff. Just when they think, if you get that one party member who thinks, yeah, this is this, why are we running through this, blah blah, low level, and then it's like, but surprise.
Those
there's a few.
Yeah, those skeletons and zombies in that room. Well, they're now vampires.
Exactly.
And twice as many of them.
Good thing I brought my sun sword.
You could do it with Against the Cult of the Reptile God, and just simply remove the NPC mage and toughen up the assassins, and there you go.
Yeah, you could do it with Keep on Borderlands.
Yeah, any sandbox,
Any sandbox can be beefed up. Yeah,
beef up Keep on the Borderlands, so your party doesn't run through it at a lower level; they run through it at a higher level.
They'll still get butchered.
And get butchered, yeah.
No, I mean, if I leave the keep as is and they have a higher level, they'll still get butchered.
Yeah. The keep on the Borderline is a really, really good adventure in my opinion.
Oh, I love it. It's definitely top 10. I know a lot of people who hate it, and they mention how boring and flat it is. It's like, well, if you're trying to play it as a one shot, then sure. If you're trying to run it the whole thing in one evening, then yeah, you miss the point of it.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a long campaign adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Another one, White Plume Mountain. It'd been like so long since we'd run through White Plume Mountain, and then James ran it like a year ago, and I'd forgotten everything about it. And I'd been through the dungeon a couple of times, but I really forgot it. And then, we're running through, we're like fifth, sixth level characters, we're badasses. And then I get decaffeinated by Blacksword with Warduke.
Did you just say you got decaffeinated? They took away your coffee?
Yeah, my coffee was no longer worth a damn. My head was completely cut off.
There's certain things in White Plume Mountain, though, that you're never going to forget. The crab in a bubble. If you would get there, you know exactly where you are with the crab in a bubble.
Warduke runs up on me. I was trying to get Black Razor. I was playing a human fighter. I was like, I'm going to get Black Razor, put on Warduke's helmet, and just start massacring everything that I run across.
Massacre.
First freaking turn, I run up on Warduke, and he cuts my head clean off. First turn. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You're critical with, you roll a 20 with Black Razor.
You're playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
No, we're not playing.
Shh. There's no other. We are in the cult of what's his name here? Garaby.
Garaby is the name that shall not be spoken.
I prefer to refer to him as the cultist.
Yeah.
I'll have to reshare my video I did about Garaby.
Is that the one with you driving?
That's all with me driving, yes.
Yeah, right. That was a good video.
I watched that and I was like, I'm completely lost. I don't know what John's going for because I had no idea who Garibay was at the time. Right? Only now I think I've only heard his name. Like, or I saw somebody else commenting on him. It's like I just doesn't sound like somebody I had any interest in listening to. So it's like,
watch one Garibay video, then go back and watch my video of me driving. Okay. then you'll get the joke.
Anyone, it doesn't matter. If you find one video where he's not even driving, it still
James
counts.
was reacting on Garaby videos for
just means looking up a Garibay video. And it sounds like I have no interest in what he has to say.
Oh no, nobody does. We watch it to mock him.
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess it would be fair to listen to what he has to say so I understand where he's coming from. But from what I hear, is like, yeah.
And you'll also understand why I refer to him as the cultist.
Everybody who plays older school or older Dungeons and Dragons or any games like that are wrong. 5e is the only one you should play. And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Gary Gygax, but he is not our Lord and or Savior.
But yet he the first time I ever saw him on anything was when he was on Max's stream, and he was saying that anyone who plays any edition other than 5th edition D&D, any game other than 5th edition D&D at the moment is hurting the hobby, is what he said.
Oh, he's a dipshit. All right, so
he's a cult.
Yeah. And absolutely.
We played 5th Ed for about a year, and I had a lot of fun playing the game. We had a blast, but it wasn't the system; it was the story.
Yeah,
and
I think it plays okay until you get to about level 4 or 5.
I was playing a human assassin who was actually a nobleman from we were playing Forgotten Realms. So for the South people, the Frenchies or whatever, starts with the C. Anyway, I was like a low-line prince, and I was a whoremonger. So the king and the queen, my parents are like, "Get the fuck out of here! Make something decent of yourself before you come back." I came back with like 12 illegitimate children. Cormier. I was
one of them's gonna be decent.
And it was like, and I brought their mothers with me too because they were my harem.
So the problem with I have with 5th edition, even though I've altered rules and whatever. I have to keep fighting against the system to try and keep it playing, keep the game of the tone I want, because it lends itself so much to playing very much a superhero type game.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, level 1, 2, 3, and 4, fine, but it gets very monotonous playing through level 1, 2, 3, and 4 again and again and again and again.
It gets boring.
Everything I hear about it is you're the fresh boy off the farm, and you're already immortal.
You're not at level 1. You're not immortal because it is. Well, monsters do quite a lot of damage, and they hit with quite good regularity.
Yeah, that the system's designed to hit more, but you have more hit points.
Yeah,
Which is.
And the issue, and at first level, you have got the limited ability to heal each other. So it's quite easy to die at first level, but as soon as you get to second level, I mean, if you say, for example, the way the rules work is if you've got about 5 hit points and and if you say you got a maximum hit points of 10, which is quite normal for a cleric at first level, and you're on 5 hit points, and a monster hits you for 16 damage, which is very possible because they do more damage, and if they roll a 20, they do extra dice of damage. Then you die immediately on the spot.
Yeah, you're just screwed.
Well,
yeah. And but you get to second level, and that cleric will now have about 18 hit points, and suddenly monsters aren't hitting for 25 damage, which is what they'd need to do to take the same cleric down to negative maximum. So suddenly, around second, third level, it becomes very dependent on the death saves, which do favor the player characters to keep them alive.
You start to feel like there's a streak of immortality going around. And the only time I want to feel like my character is not going to die is when I'm deliberately playing something that cannot die. Yeah. You know, I once played a note that had a magic item that was made up for the game that kept the character from dying. So I played the character that way, right? As a joke, like the whole character. His name was Lon, the gnome.
The thing John's saying is true though, and
yeah,
like I run a 5th ed game. It was mainly as an experiment to try out my house rules to give it an old school feel, and then it got to the point where I'm writing these rules, and sort of adjusting the system, and then I'm thinking, why would I put so much effort to adjust the system to play old school style when I can just play old school games?
Yeah.
So there's only so much work you want to do. There's a couple of things you can do, like I do Constitution bonuses don't apply after level 1 for 5th edition. That alone, that one change alone, is leagues. Like it changed the game because they apply it to monsters as well. That way, you've still got the high hit ratios, but now you've got a much diminished hit point threshold. So
hits become much more precious.
Exactly, hits become deadly. My 5th ed campaign has had 9 fatalities over the course of a year and change, and so that's good. So that has balanced that out. Players are playing smart. They're playing like they do in old school. They're thinking, "Oh, this is dangerous. Let's not fight if we don't have to." Whereas most typical 5th ed players will, "Oh, look, a potential fight. Let's do this," and they just leap in.
Yeah, and a lot of times when I'm running some old school games, like AD&D, 2nd ed, even 3rd ed, I will have my characters start off at like 2nd or 3rd level. So they can fight the bigger monsters, but chances are they're still going to die.
I'm a hard ass. I start everybody at level 1.
I like starting off at level 1 too.
My exception to that is if I've got a one-shot guest, like I had last weekend. This guy came up from Boston to join in. I was like, no, I'll give him a leveled character. He's here for one time. He's joining a leveled group. There's no point in putting him at level 1.
I've had people start off at level 0, and I've been in games where we started off at level 0.
Done that.
Yep.
Done that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and you got to be careful at level 0 because you can't do shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the most recent 5th ed game I've run was with my modified rules running Goodman Games version of Lost City, and I like what Goodman Games have done with Adventure, all the expansions and what have you. But I have the game's on hiatus at the moment because another DM's having a go at running something. But I've told them when we go back to the Lost City, I'm going to convert everything to 2nd edition, and that's what we'll play.
I love 2nd edition. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it came out with all the splat books, and when I seen that dwarf splat book, that might have pushed me into puberty.
At the ripe old age of 7.
Yeah, well, that dwarf splat book I had just gotten done reading all of the Dritz Stewart books, and they had that Battle Rager in the book, and I thought he was the coolest thing since bread. And then I read that I could play a dwarf berserker and spiky ass armor. And I was like, and I killed one of our party members' character twice with that character, because the first time we killed a bunch of freaking, drow and stuff, and I was berserking, so I was just sitting there mutilating the corpse of the mage. And, I broke a couple of potions and stuff like that. And the mage in the group got pissed off about it. So he thought he'd get me out of my berserker rage by shooting me with a magic missile.
Yeah.
Just draws attention to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well for him. So I killed his ass. I was playing my character. And I rolled to see if I could come out of my berserk rage. And no, I didn't. So I mangled his body too. And he went out on our front porch and cried for a little bit.
And that's when your party renamed it to the Missile of Redirection.
And then the second time I ended up killing that dude's character, he was playing a mage. And we had a character in the party, he was a cavalier. And me and him were on the front lines fighting. And he hit us with a color code. So, we straight up told him, if that ever happens again, you're going to have to deal with the consequences. And then, 2 sessions later, he hit us with a color code.
Fair.
So, I killed him.
Was he trying to troll you, or was he just being?
He was trolling on purpose. He was doing that shit on purpose. So
then he deserves all he gets.
Yeah, I killed him again, and he didn't show up to the game for a while after that. And everybody who was playing in the game, including my brother who was running the game, he's like, you knew it was going to happen. You know how to aim that kind of code where it doesn't hit your party members. And not only did you do it once, you've done it twice. So you get what you get.
Precisely. Actions have consequences.
That's it. You play stupid games. You get stupid presents. It's the fuck around and find out skill. He fucked around pretty bad. He found out.
And so he did it again.
Yeah, if you don't fuck around, you don't find out.
I don't know, man. I have a feeling like you'd be killing people just for the fun of it.
No, not all the time, not often.
You are the king of all murder hobos.
It depends if I'm what class or character I'm playing. I'm playing a dwarf. I'm playing a berserk dwarf that doesn't like magic to begin with. And the mage in our party, not one mage, but 2 mages played by the same person, kept casting spells on us, against us. Not good spells, damage spells. Kona Code does a good amount of damage.
4d10, is it?
Yeah.
Was it 10d4? It's one or the other.
It's something like that, but still.
It's enough to kill.
Yes.
It's enough to get pissed off of when you're sitting there fighting monsters, trying to help your party, and one of your party members takes half of your hit points away.
Yeah. That would not be fun.
And then, it's like, I don't know how you guys do it, but you're an archer. Your friends are in combat. Your party's in combat. And you're wanting to shoot into the combat. When I'm running a game, there's a chance they're going to hit their own party members.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I never run that rule as is. I only use it if it's a particularly rash situation.
Yeah.
I play it by ear.
Yeah, you adjudicate the situation like, in the case we were talking about earlier, dwarves versus ogres, and everybody's staying back except for one dwarf. I was like, all right, well, the ogre is 10 feet tall, the dwarf is 3 feet or 4 feet tall.
Yeah,
Nobody needs to randomize. Everybody can just aim up. But
Yeah. You're close enough that your shots aren't going to arc down.
But in a game we had where we had two humans were fighting a cockatrice and the others were shooting in, it was the opposite. The cockatrice is small and the humans are bigger, so they had a greater chance of hitting their allies.
Yeah, and if your archer, especially if your archer rolls like a 1 or a 2 and just critically fails.
I don't tend to use critical failures apart from in that sort of situation.
Yeah,
I would
say the combat. And
I would say to the player, yeah, okay, you can take your shot, you can aim at whatever you want, but if you roll really badly, there is going to be a chance you're going to hit your ally.
Exactly.
Something I have started doing is I've created a metric where you can mitigate it based on the skill of the archer. Because a really good like Legolas style archer is going to be able to mitigate the chance of hitting his friend a lot better than some 0 level plebe.
Yeah, it comes down to levels too. Like if I've got
that's your plus rating.
Where we got a 10 level ranger that's specialized in bow. Mm-hmm. He's going to be able to shoot in combat without having that much of a difficulty of hitting a party member unless he rolls extremely bad. But if you're running like a 3rd or 4th level campaign and you've got a guy who's decent at a bow, but he's not great at a bow and he misses hard, roll that dice to see if you hit one of your buddies.
Yep, pretty much.
But it's going on 2 hours, and I'm getting ready to have dinner.
Your cheeseburger's nearly on its way, is it?
Yeah.
Double cheeseburger.
Well, it's dinner time for all of us, I guess, except for John. John is closing in on midnight for you, isn't it?
It's 16 minutes to 11.
To 11. So are we back to the usual 5-hour distance? Did you guys have your daylight savings?
Yes, we have now.
Thank you guys for coming on and keeping me company while I'm all up in the spittle.
No problem.
No problem.
Dude, this is the first stream that I've had that we've mostly talked about games.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid.
I'm sorry, man. I let you down. I'm supposed to.
This is amazing. Everybody, you have a great night.
You too, Ungar. Be well.
Party on, guys. Party on.
John, pimp your channel real quick.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I'm, as you can see, I'm the old geek. I've got a YouTube channel where I talk nonsense, and Hungar seems to like the nonsense I talk.
Mages, I loved your video the other day. I love the Legend of the Stick little cutouts.
I appreciate that. More are coming. I'm behind 4 sessions for both of my things, so eight review caps I have to write up and film. So I've got content for a while. I just have to plunk down and do it.
Yeah,
Plus,
we're looking forward to
you can get an AI to do that for you now. You know that, right?
Yeah, the AI can kiss my ass.
But if you guys are on my channel and you're not subscribed to these two, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, I'm subscribed to both these guys.
Justin was my very first subscriber.
Don't you forget it, Willis. Yeah. That's why I'm allowed on this channel.
And now look at me, over 1,000 subs.
Yeah.
You got quite the growth there, yeah.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Well, we have already established she has the name Steve, so
Whatever. Everybody, you guys have a great day. Thanks.
You too. We'll chat soon.
Cheers.
This is Hungar the Starman. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Everybody have a good day, man.
See ya.